You may think sleep is the one time your body finally gets peace. But what if the position you sleep in every night is quietly putting pressure on your spine, your airway, your digestion, and even your long-term health? Because sleep is not just rest, it is a physical posture that your body holds for hours. And when that posture is wrong, your body does not always complain loudly. Sometimes it whispers. A stiff neck in the morning, a sore lower back, silent snoring, waking up tired even after a full night of sleep, heartburn at night, or breathing problems that you never connect to the way you sleep. Tonight, we are going to uncover the truth about sleeping positions. Not myths, not internet trends, but what medical sources actually say. There is no perfect sleeping position for every human being. Your ideal position depends on your body, your symptoms, and sometimes your medical condition. But there are still important patterns that science keeps confirming. Sleeping on your back can worsen snoring and obstructive sleep apnea in many people. Side sleeping is often helpful for breathing and reflux. And stomach sleeping can strain the neck and lower back. So let us break it down clearly. Sleeping on your back may feel natural, even comfortable. But for many people, this position can make snoring worse and can aggravate obstructive sleep apnea. Why? Because when you lie on your back, the tongue and soft tissues of the throat can fall backward and narrow the airway. Mayo Clinic specifically notes that sleeping on the back can crowd the airway, and Cleveland Clinic says back sleepers are more likely to snore than side sleepers. That matters because obstructive sleep apnea is not just snoring. It is a condition where breathing repeatedly stops or becomes blocked during sleep, which can fragment sleep and reduce rest quality. This means a person can spend 8 hours in bed and still wake up exhausted, not because they slept too little, but because they never got stable sleep. That is one of the most dangerous lies in sleep health. Being in bed is not the same as sleeping well. Back sleeping is not automatically bad for everyone, though. For some people with neck or back pain, back sleeping can actually reduce strain if the spine stays aligned and a pillow supports the knees. Mayo Clinic recommends a pillow under the knees for back sleepers to help maintain the lower back curve. So the real lesson is this: back sleeping can be helpful for the spine, but harmful for the airway in people who snore or have sleep apnea. If there is one position that comes up repeatedly in sleep medicine, it is side sleeping. For many people, sleeping on the side can help reduce snoring and improve breathing during sleep because it keeps the tongue and soft tissues from collapsing backward as easily. Mayo Clinic and Cleveland Clinic both point to side sleeping as helpful for people with obstructive sleep apnea or snoring. Side sleeping can also be helpful for back pain, especially when the spine stays in a neutral line and a pillow is placed between the knees to reduce hip and lower back strain. Mayo Clinic and Cleveland Clinic both recommend alignment-focused support for side sleepers, but even side sleeping is not automatically perfect. If your pillow is too high or too low, your neck can bend unnaturally for hours, and that is the real secret. The problem is rarely the position alone. The problem is the position, plus poor support. So side sleeping is often a strong option, but only if the head, neck, spine, and hips are properly aligned. Now let us talk about stomach sleeping. This is the position that looks harmless, but often causes the most mechanical stress. When you sleep on your stomach, your neck usually has to turn to one side for hours. That can put strain on the neck, and it can also stress the lower back because the spine is not resting in a neutral position. Cleveland Clinic says stomach sleeping can put pressure on the neck and lower back, and Mayo Clinic notes that it can strain the spine. Stomach sleeping may reduce snoring in some people because it can keep the airway more open, but that benefit comes with a cost: poor spinal alignment. That means the body may trade one problem for another. Less snoring tonight, more stiffness tomorrow morning. Less airway collapse, more neck rotation. Less pressure on the throat, more pressure on the spine. That is why many clinicians discourage stomach sleeping when someone already has neck pain, back pain, or posture-related discomfort. Your sleeping position can also affect digestion. Acid reflux and GERD often get worse when you lie down, especially at night. Medline Plus notes that GERD symptoms may worsen when lying down, and Mayo Clinic says reflux happens when stomach acid flows back into the esophagus. One position stands out here: left side sleeping. Cleveland Clinic states that sleeping on the left side can help because it places the lower esophageal sphincter in a position that better protects against stomach contents moving upward. A 2023 review also found that current evidence suggests left side sleeping may reduce nocturnal reflux and improve GERD-related quality of life. Also, elevating the head of the bed has evidence behind it for reflux symptoms. A systematic review found head-of-bed elevation can help relieve GERD symptoms, and an earlier review called it the only proven lifestyle modification for GERD management. So if someone says, "My sleep position does not affect my health," reflux alone proves that is not true for many people. There is one situation where sleep position becomes even more important: pregnancy. In later pregnancy, lying flat on the back can compress major blood vessels, especially the inferior vena cava, which can reduce venous return and affect circulation. This is why back-lying in late pregnancy has been studied closely, and why side sleeping is commonly recommended in that stage. At the same time, an NIH-funded study found that sleeping on the back or side through the 30th week of pregnancy did not appear to increase the risk of stillbirth, reduced birth size, or high blood pressure disorders of pregnancy. So the evidence is more nuanced than social media often makes it sound. That is what real health education looks like. Not fear, but precision. So what is the actual conclusion? Sleeping position is not just a comfort choice. It can influence airflow, snoring, reflux, spinal alignment, and nighttime discomfort. If you wake up with neck pain, lower back pain, heartburn, loud snoring, gasping, or daytime sleepiness, your sleep position may be part of the problem, but not always the only problem. In some cases, symptoms like loud snoring, observed breathing pauses, or excessive daytime sleepiness deserve a proper medical evaluation, and a sleep study can measure breathing, oxygen levels, heart rate, and sleep activity. The most intelligent approach is not to blindly copy one best position. It is to find the position that keeps your airway open, your spine neutral, and your symptoms minimal. Because the goal of sleep is not just to close your eyes. The goal is to let the body recover. And if your sleeping position is fighting against that recovery night after night, then yes, it is secretly affecting your health. So tonight, before you fall asleep, pay attention to one thing. How does your body feel when you wake up? That answer is often more honest than your assumptions, because your sleep position may be shaping your health more than you realize.